How do we fix the relationship between law enforcement and the community? Well, I have a few things that I think I could suggest, but I want to know what your response is. So put something in the comments below on what you think would be helpful to bridge the gap between police and community. Now, here are my thoughts. First of all, what we think law enforcement does, specifically local law enforcement, what we think that they are after us for is genuinely something they have zero control over. Unfortunately, I know a lot of police officers. In fact, I'm going to put up a clip right now of a police officer that genuinely agrees that marijuana should not be illegal and that alcohol is a far worse drug for its community. Right here. Now, let's fucking talk about it. Why? Why is this the case? Why, since the 60s, have law enforcement been obligated to do things that they don't even agree with? At least a majority of them, right? Well, money. I know it's a shocker, but money. They make a lot of money, and not the local government. They don't get paid a dime for any of these arrests, but our full-on government makes a ridiculous amount of money based on incarceration and the despair of its people. I want to see a bridge be formed between local government and the community, because I think that if we can do that, we can actually make change. Rather than hating the other side and just being upset and just lashing out, that's not going to change anything. We need to think about this critically. How do we get the police department's relationship to be better within the community? Personally, I think transparency is a huge one. And I know that can be a double-edged sword. Because the second some government agencies become transparent, it's like, oh, well, they still do this and they still do this. And we don't realize that they don't actually have control over stuff like that. Let's do what we can to help our community and our local government. Let's give them the resources to help our community. Let's become better. Let's open these outreach programs and let's involve them. Let's not just, it's not one against the other. It is not bad versus good. There are good people everywhere. Let's show that. Let's spread that light. Let's enjoy our community and our police department. Because I tell you what, 85% of them that I've personally met are fucking awesome people. And they do so much for the community. It's surprising to me. But that other 10 or 5%, I'm sure people have differing opinions on how much that is, gives us such a bad taste in our mouth. So how do we fix that? Let's genuinely be open to change. I hate to say this, but shame doesn't help people change. Telling people to go kill themselves doesn't make change. Telling people that they are all bad does not make change. Let's get out there and let's help our police. I know that this sounds so counterintuitive, right? For somebody that is probably watching this video with a hatred towards law enforcement, why would I help them? They've done nothing but take things from me, extort money out of me, lock me up for something as simple as cannabis. And I agree with you. That's a fucking problem. But I tell you what, being angry about it isn't going to help it. Being angry about it and frustrated, all that's going to get us is a worse relationship. Let's genuinely try to fix this problem. Let's show the police that we love, we care about them, we want them there, we just want change. And we want it to be open to change. We want local law enforcement to be open and involved with change. I hate this idea that cops are simply government drones. They're not. They legally are required to be. It's disgusting. Give the police more of a voice. I'm definitely going to put a few clips up here of that officer that I had the interview with, and I genuinely enjoyed him. I genuinely respected a lot of the things he said.
Do you think that, and I mean, let's compare it to something like alcohol, which is a legal drug. Do you think that illegal drug use has a significant impact in crime? Like, do you think it causes more violent crime?
Alcohol?
Yeah.
I think alcohol and crime statistics probably is comparable.
It's 86% of all crimes involve alcohol. Yeah.
And dude, I grew up in a family of alcoholics. Like, I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alcohol is far more dangerous than weed.
Same here, man. Like,
Depends on the right, because like what people don't understand is I, as a cop, especially in uniform on duty, I lose a lot of my First Amendment
Right, you're
rights.
representing your city or
Yes.
your department.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
So, you know, some would frown on, like, I'm one of the guys that fully believes weed should be legal.
Absolutely. I think that most of the country agrees with that.
I genuinely want to see change. I genuinely want them to become better, and I want to become better myself. You know, personally, it was hard for me as somebody that has been extorted from and just treated kind of like garbage for something as simple as cannabis. It is hard for me to love. It's hard for me to want them to become better, but genuinely, I think that's the best option. I think that if we as a community can come out and make the change that we need to, and we can just love and want the best for, that we will see that kind of change. We will see police officers that are more open about the idea that they know incarcerating people isn't getting them off drugs. They know that what they're doing isn't helping. Of course, incarceration has its place. I don't want to see somebody with domestic violence just get a ticket and written off. Fuck that. Lock that motherfucker up. But here's the deal. You're not helping people that are afflicted with addiction. You're not helping people that are in a bad state because of something like poverty. We need to get out there and give them the resources to help those people rather than them feeling helpless, right? I bet you the police feel just as helpless as us in these situations. They want change. They want to do something better. They genuinely want to be something the community looks up to and respects and wants them there. I genuinely think they want that. I just don't think people realize this isn't something that's within their control, especially because we don't give it to them. We just constantly shit and bash on them. So let's love them. Let's give them the utilities to help these people. And let's express how we feel. Let's legitimately get out there and tell them how we feel. In a loving way, please. Don't just hate them, because you're not going to help anybody by going, all cops are bad. Go kill yourself. Oh my God. I guarantee you that officer signed up for this job to genuinely help people. He just had no idea what he was signing up for. He didn't know that, well, I don't really help a lot of people when it comes to drugs. But I guarantee you, even if they did know that, they didn't care. They wanted the ability to stop violent people in their tracks. They wanted the ability to stop the innocent from being inflicted with violent crimes. I guarantee it. I personally believe that over 90% of police officers are good people and that they deserve the best and they deserve much more than they get. Let's change the social dynamic between police and local law enforcement and people, please. I think that we could change the world by simply giving them the tools to help, rather than the only way to help them is put them in jail for the night. The only way to help, like, come on. Come on. What are we even doing? We're wasting money and time and hurting people severely. I don't think you guys realize how much mental distress it puts somebody in when they're incarcerated. Look into the Stanford prison experiment. That not only showed that when somebody has power over another individual, it affects them, but also the person that is imprisoned, it is a dehumanizing feeling, and it doesn't make them better. So let's fix it. Let's not just hate the cops. Let's genuinely fix it and give them the tools to become better. Let's be a better community for them. Anyway, I know that this is kind of a controversial video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts, even critical ones, please put them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you say. And honestly, personally, I'm trying to build a community. So if you could help critique me and help me become better, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a subscribe would be a Hail Mary for me. You know, every single new subscriber I get every day, I'm all off the walls. It makes me feel amazing and like I genuinely impacted something. So thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. Life is crazy, and honestly, we're gonna have to make another video on that stuff. Anyway, I love you. Have a good rest of your day.